Do you guys hate Darkrai and love milling? If so, we got a great game for you today. Alright, so we're back with the Durant Plasma and klinklang Durant Plasma. Oh, there is Plasma Durant in here, but anyway, Plasma, klinklang, and Durant deck. And we flip over a Klink, and you know, again, having a 1-repeat Klink is pretty nice, because if I put out a Skyro, I can just bring him back for free, or just treat him with 1 if I don't have Skyro out. So anyway, we get to go first, and I'm going to Skyla, and probably go ahead and pick up a level ball, just to get out probably a Durant, maybe a Plasma Durant this time. Check how many are prized. Looks like I've got all 4 in the deck, so that's always a good sign. That means they're going to be available to me via level ball and or revive, so there's not going to be any stuck. And think about which one do I actually want to pick, Plasma Durant or Noble Victories Durant. I'm clearly thinking about this, so I'd have time to talk about it in commentary. And ultimately, I decided to go with Noble Victories Durant. I do already have a Klang in my hand, but I also already have a Heavy Ball, so I'm going to be able to get off a Devour this turn by virtue of Escape Rope, and that's a pretty good card to Devour for one. Computer Search prevents him from at least using it this turn. He'll have to Junk Hunt for it. He can get it back, but you know, he'll have to Junk Hunt for it, so he's not going to have it this turn. Right off the bat, we see Hypnotoxic Verbank coming out, and so there's my Durant has gone to sleep, and if I were him, I'd probably, Junk Hunt for that laser and that Computer Search. And we happen to top deck the other Durant, so that's going pretty good. Let's go ahead and Shireen, get some cards. Looks like we don't have anything I can use to be able to attack this turn since the sleep's stuck. But we will get a Crushing Hammer Heads, and that's going to take that energy off Sableye, so we'll have to have one to attach to Junk Hunt next turn. And I'm also able to get down a second Klink, so unless he ends me, I have a klinklang guaranteed. Even if he were to somehow knock out this Klang, I've got a Skyla for Rare Candy for klinklang. So let's see what he can do in response here. Durant's now awake again, but I believe it's probably about to die. And this happens about, seems like at least 80% of the time versus a Darkrai deck. We got an Energy Switch, Dark Patch, all this stuff, and Computer Search. I don't think he's played a Dark Energy from his hand, so there's a Comp Search for Juniper. There's a Dark Claw that's not really going to matter at all. And actually, I think I just died from poison there, so he either whiffed an energy or I missed where he attached one, and I don't know. Anyway, he wasn't able to get out of energy that turn, but the big thing was he wasn't able to end me, which is probably what he should have gotten instead of Juniper, but, you know, how could he have known that? So, anyway, we're able to just evolve into Plasma Klinklang without needing Rare Candy, so I'll just end. He did just play a Juniper, so there's my second Crushing Hammer, so this is still the earlier build of it when I played 2. And we'll go ahead and get out another Durant, and we can replace that Skyro Bridge, or replace that Verbank with Skyro Bridge, but I don't have an energy to attack with anyway, so I'll just let it go. I'm obviously going to be immune from Night Spear, and this is typically where Sableye has to resort to laser spam, Verbank spam, you know, all that stuff, in order to kill off your Klinklangs. And the nice thing about this is that it looks like I'm going to get all 4 Durants in place. That's going to be pretty impressive. I do have a Switch, and I've got Skyla, so let's see what I'm going to want to get out. He didn't laser me. I kind of want to save the Skyro for when a laser comes down. I don't know why I think that, but I just do. So I think I just Skyla for an end there. I'm probably going to play out some stuff this turn. For whatever reason, I'm just going to assume he's going to have a laser this turn, whether by playing a supporter for it or just having it in hand. So sure enough, there's a laser. And he already put a Dark Claw on his Darkrai. Probably what should have put that on Sableye, since, you know, Night Spear is going to do a knockout on Durant anyway. And it's also going to knock out Klang, and you're not going to be able to knock out Plasma Klinklang, obviously. So anyway, there's a Dark Claw on Sableye, so I forget I even said that. And there's some Dark Energy, and he's going to have to, of course, resort to Confuse Ray and Hypnotoxic Laser to kill Klinklang. And what are we going to do here? We're going to put Metal Energy, which I just drew. We're going to switch into that, and I'm going to go ahead and throw out Skyro Bridge, which, you know, I got rid of the poison anyway, but you know, whatever. Make him have to throw down another Verbank. Don't know how many he might play. Catchers, again, as I mentioned in the last video, are not going to be that worthwhile versus Darkrai, since everything's going to get free retreat. So, you know, whatever. I'll just make him have a Dark Energy to attach from his hand, and he does. And I also get Battle City in play, which is good, or I have it in hand, which is good because he replaces Skyro with another Verbank, so we got full-fledged Stadium Wars going on. And there's a laser, and the nice thing is he's going to be just short with Confuse Ray from dealing damage. He's going to junk kind of laser back, and fortunately I wake up, so I can escape rope. I also have another metal energy, so I can either retreat or I can just actually he junk hunted, so he didn't do that. Looks like I just retreat. It's probably a good idea. We're going to replace Burbank with Battle City, and do I want to go ahead and in, or do I want to hang on to this Super Rod? I think I'm just not going to play a supporter that turn, although at that rate I probably should have done Battle City, but oh well. So he's going to catch her in Hypnotoxic, and he's gone through 2 Burbanks, so most decks play 2 or 3. I don't know how much people expect the Stadium War is going to be fought, but this deck is definitely going to fight it. So good thing I did hold on to my hand right there. I'm going to escape rope out of that, and what can we get? See, I don't know if there's much of anything I want to Skyla for. I have a full board of Durants. I do know that my klinklang is kind of really heavily beaten up. This is where I think I need to start playing a max potion. You know, just being able to wipe that damage off klinklang that they've had to, you know, slowly but surely get on is could be a big benefit. But here I Battle City and get Heavy Ball, and that changes everything. Because now I'm going to be able to Heavy Ball for my second Plasma klinklang, and he actually goes ahead and concedes as soon as he, you know, he saw I Skylight for Rare Candy. Probably should have waited for me to actually flip over a klinklang, since, you know, there's a very good chance it could have been prized. But apparently he doesn't think he can deal with 2 Plasma klinklangs. That's too many for Darkrai to handle. So that's kind of a short game, so we're going to jump into another game, also versus Darkrai. Alright, different opponent, same matchup, and this time we're going to start out with the Plasma Durant. Has the call for backup attack for 1, I think it's colorless energy. Allows you to search your deck for any Pokemon, put it into your hand, so, you know, sometimes probably better than devouring for 1, aids with some setup, and I just like its inclusion as a one-of. You know, you mainly still want your Devour Durants, but this guy can come in handy too, and he still counts as a Durant for the purposes of increasing Devour. So he gets to go first and throws down Dark Energy, and I see 2 Darkrai's, and I'm a little bit wary because I would most definitely like to get some Klinks in play, and this hand I have is pretty ugly, actually. It's got a lot of supporters, but so I guess it's not too terrible, but it's got a lot of supporters. It's got 3 ends, so I'm just gonna call for backup on a Klink. I could have Skyled for a level ball for a Klink. That might have been a good idea. But it looks like I'm going to be facing down a turn 3 Night Spear. I'm going to try to delay that by catching up the Energyless Darkrai. So this way, if he has to attach to retreat that Darkrai, it'll force him to have an energy switch. So, you know, forcing him to have another card. As I've mentioned several times by now, I think Catcher's not that beneficial. So, you know, this is one possible use of it, forcing him to have an energy switch and a dark energy as well in order to Night Spear me this turn. And I have a level ball there, which I probably should have gotten another Klink, as usual, but I decided to get a Durant. I guess I figured, you know, I should be able to get out a Klang with that Heavy Ball, and, you know, I should be able to get this evolved, and I don't know, whatever. Anyway, suffice to say, I get the other Durant because I thought I was going to die at some point, and I get lucky, and he actually whiffs the Night Spear thanks to my catcher, so that's very, very good, because now I can use my Skyla for a rare candy, and that Heavy Ball can be used for a Klinklang instead of a Klang. I don't know why I was even thinking the Klang route to begin with when I had a Skyla for candy in hand, but for whatever reason I was. So anyway, now Klinklang is on board, and now he has to adjust his strategy from, okay, hurry up and kill stuff with Darkrai, to, okay, Darkrai is now going to be useless, I need to use sableye and Hypnotoxic Laser and Dark Claw against this deck. So I got a Devour for 3, and I believe as I look through there with that level ball, I see I've got my 4th Durant is prized. So that's going to be something to keep in mind, but, you know, I can usually function okay with only 3 Durants. It's not horrifyingly crippling since we've got the walling power of Klinklang just generally slowing the game down. Stuff doesn't get knocked out as fast. It still can be, thanks to Hypnotoxic Laser and Dark Claw and Confuse Rays, but it's definitely much slower of a death than it would be if Night Spear was coming in every turn. So, he's gonna revive, which is a rare card to see, and I also see a full heal in there, which is another rare card to see, but you know, he plays it, so okay, alright. I guess it has some uses, especially with all the Hypnotoxic running around, and I don't know though, I might just rather play Switch or Keldeo, but whatever. There may be some cases where you don't want to switch, especially since this isn't like Hydreigon where you can just move your energy all around. So anyway, all that aside, he is now switching over to the pretty much the strategy you have to go with if you don't have any specific text for this matchup, which is let's go with Dark Claw, let's go with Hypnotoxic Laser, and let's keep Durant asleep, why don't we, eh? Once again, this hand is pretty bad. I have no one to revive, so my item cards are useless, and then I have 6 supporters in my hand. Juniper is right out. I don't really want to play in because he has a 2-card hand and would draw 6. Shirin has been habitually failing me, although I guess he dug through enough that I eventually got some decent stuff, right? So I'm thinking maybe I'll Skyla for something or other, I don't know. I can get something anyway, and what are we going to pick up? Pick up an escape rope? That'll allow me to at least escape rope into my Plasma Durant. My benched Devour Durant does not have energy, and I don't have one to attach, so only thing I'm going to be able to attack with, well, I suppose I could retreat and Devour, but I'm just going to call for backup and see what I want to grab. Maybe another Klink, so I can go towards getting a second klinklang set up. As you saw from the previous game, sometimes that's enough to just make someone scoop. Just because it can take so long to knock out a klinklang, and then they got a second one, you're just might just run out of cards before you're able to knock out that second klinklang with Hypnotoxic, especially if you can keep Verbank City Gym out of play and make poison only deal the 10 damage. Much tamer than it could be otherwise. But here he's going to junk hunt for a Hypnotoxic Laser and a Catcher, and that's definitely the best 2 cards you could junk hunt for, since that's going to allow him to pull up Klinklang. And he may only have a 2-card hand, but I know exactly what is in his 2-card hand, and I know it's very good, so I'm going to end that away. Finally, I get a more versatile hand, I guess we can say. Looks like I'm not going to be able to attack this turn. But we do have a Klang in hand, so that Klink could be evolved in the next turn. I'm just going to pass. Not really anything I want to play out of this hand. The Crushing Hammer should probably be saved for a later time. He's got a Shirin, and if he puts a Verbank in play, I believe, yeah, he'll be able to knock out my my Durant, but he catches up Klinklang, probably a pretty good play. And see if he's got some Laser. He has neither Laser nor Verbank, so he's just going to have to Confuse Ray for 30. And we're going to get this other Klang evolved. And I've got a Heavy Ball, so I'll be able to get out another Klinklang next turn, unless it's prized. And I see I got an Escape Rope and Dowsing Machine off this Shirin, rather. And here I decide, you know what, I'm going to pull a shenanigan. He Escape Ropes and brings out a Darkrai, or excuse me, a Sableye. I want him to bring out a Darkrai because I think I'm going to pull a little silly shenanigan here that you can sometimes do with Durant. I haven't seen a Keldeo come down, so I'm actually going to Dowsing Machine away a Klink that I don't want, and maybe just throw away that Hammer. It's not going to be that game-changing, and I'm going to grab a Catcher back with my Dowsing Machine. I'm going to Catcher up. I guess we'll get this Darkrai that has nothing attached to it, and I'm actually going to use Metal Jail. Now, why? Because Darkrai decks tend to not run Switch. I haven't seen a Keldeo so far, and you know, I can just lock Retreat, and that Darkrai's just going to be stuck there. He won't be able to junk hunt for catchers and Hypnotoxic Lasers and any of that stuff. It's just going to be just that Darkrai, and he plays a Switch. Are you kidding me? The one Darkrai deck out there that actually plays a Switch. Like, I would have been less upset if it had been a Keldeo and then a Rush In, but no, it had to be a Switch. Anyway, because at least Keldeo I can Catcher and Metal Jail that. Another reason for me to try to Metal Jail there, you know, if I can take a prize, maybe I can get a Durant off the prizes. So, you know, maybe taking a prize would have been, two prizes would have been okay there. But, anyway, so I went for a funny, and my funny failed me. And, oh well, it was worth going for just for the laughs, right? Alright, so here's this Klang, and I don't know why I have... Oh, I'm looking, seeing what attacks Klang actually has. It's got a Metal Sound that can confuse, which is going to be pretty irrelevant when he's got free retreat. And his second attack isn't that impressive either. So, I looked at my discard pile, see how many switches I've used, and I've burned at least 2 escape ropes, and I think at least 1 or 2 switches there. So I am running a little bit low. Kind of thinking on maybe I want to just let this klinklang die, and then I can super rod it back in, and then hope to draw it back off N or Juniper. And he actually goes ahead and ends me, and it looks like I'm going to have a klinklang go down. He's going to laser me, which I don't think is relevant at all. He's actually going to laser me again. So is he just burning cards for a Bianco or a bike or something like that? I'm really not sure what he was doing there, apart from maybe just storing those cards in the discard pile for an end. But I could have sworn I had 30 HP left on that klinklang. Apparently I'm spouting nonsense. Anyway, somehow or another I lived, and I'm able to live with klinklang, which is awesome. So I top deck a switch there, I think, and I switch into Durant, and we're on Devour, and there comes an N. So we get my other Klang that I don't need anymore, and I do have a heavy ball, so we'll be able to get out klinklang. He just N me into this hand, so it's not going to go away. Yay, yay, yay. Check out how many catchers and hypnotoxic he's used, and not too many. He's still got at least probably 2 left, and there's his remaining 2 hypnotoxic lasers. I'm not sure what his obsession is with double lasering me. I don't know if he really wants that sleep to stick, or if he's just doing it just because he can or what, but anyway, he's doing it. We should be able to get out a second klinklang on my next turn, assuming it's not prized. And I don't currently... I suppose I have a switch if I don't wake up. And I check, and yeah, sure enough, he's got all 4 lasers. So with that, I know I'm not going to get lasered on his next turn, unless maybe a dowsing machine. I think I check how many cards he's got left. Apparently it's enough to devour for the game. Okay, maybe I checked earlier and that other klinklang was in fact prized. Otherwise, I definitely should have heavy balled and gotten a second klinklang, because now my hand just got back into my deck. And I suppose I still have Skylo for heavy ball for it, but really should have gotten that second klinklang, unless it was prized, in which case, oh well. So he's going to Confuse Ray. I believe this is going to knock out Durant. Yes, it will. But I'll just promote this Durant. I do have a revive off that N, and I can't have too many cards left. Let me see how many he's got. Move the cursor over there, Kooper. Be a smart person. I want to see how many cards he's got left. Looks like it can't be more than like 5 or so. Anyway, so we're in a Skyla, and I guess I got a Super Rod. Oh, maybe I'm running low on cards. I don't know. Anyway, we're in a Devour, and I think he had 4 cards left, so I don't know what that was all about. I guess I figured he's got 1 turn left. If he catchers and knocks out Plasma Klinklang, then, you know, so be it. You know, I get to come up and Devour for the game, or just end my turn for the game if he doesn't play an N or something else to shuffle cards back in. And energy switch, and looks like he is gonna just be doing some sillies, and I think he's gonna Confuse Ray here, which is going to seal the victory for me. Confuse Ray for 30. Doesn't matter, I can just end my turn, and there we go. 2 Darkrai videos, we have 2 Darkrai videos, 2 Darkrai decks, 3 Darkrai's beaten, and 2 videos. So there we go. I believe that's all the Darkrai games are going to be uploading with this deck, but we do have a couple more against some other archetypes besides Darkrai lasers. Believe it or not, they do still exist, and hope you will enjoy those in the future. So thank you for watching, and I have been your host, Kooshiro, and I say to you now, later days.